Hi, and welcome to Living Title IX with Betsy. That's me. This week, we are talking about some new directives from the Trump administration. I would say breaking news and expectations for you all as K-12 districts. Higher eds need to focus here on kind of what we're seeing, but this is actually what I would call kind of a trickle down from what we've been seeing in higher ed over the past 2 months and some expectations for K-12s in this area. So, and I'm saying in this area, maybe I should tell you what area, specifically the area of Title VI compliance or the prevention of discrimination on the basis of race or religion or other protected class. So I have my little notepad with me today because there are a couple of things that I really need to make sure that I'm giving you a reminder of. What we know is that a lot of our K-12 Title IX coordinators are also federal program coordinators, and this is going to be super, super important for all of you. And I think we're going to see some Title IX compliance expectations falling in suit or in line after this one. So school districts across the country and the state schools, or the every state overseeing school districts, which is all of them, have received a letter from the Trump administration that is a reminder of legal obligations, and it is a requirement that schools or districts are certifying by April 13th that they are, in fact, not discriminating on the basis of race or religion or other protected class. And so it seems pretty straightforward, and we would say most districts are not doing that and could easily certify that that is the case. I think the question is actually going to be on the scope of what those expectations are, because the letter and the directive mention DEI, and we need to think about what that means and what that's looked like under this administration. DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion, which is one of the areas that this administration has come down pretty hard on the removal of. So we are evaluating DEI compliance, and so we have to look back. So let's take a little look back at what's happened over the past 2 months in this space. We've seen some executive orders. We've seen Q&A, which is actually before the Q&A, we saw a Dear Colleague letter, which is guidance from the Department of Education and the Trump administration. And then we saw Q&A, which is another form of guidance, explaining a little bit more about what, in fact, that Dear Colleague letter meant. And I just want to clarify that executive orders and Dear Colleague letters are guidance. They're not law. And so that's why we're seeing a whole lot of this being challenged in the courts. And I expect similar as it comes to this certification. So the certification is required to be signed by all school districts. And those who are questioning the scope and what that really means based on the Dear Colleague letter and the Q&A and the executive order, and if in fact this is an overreach, are going to start challenging this in court. And we've already seen some say, absolutely, that's what we're going to do. And I've seen lots of other districts say, of course, we're already complying, sign away, send it back. We want to make sure that we're getting our federal funds. I really see this in the K-12 space as a connection between Title VI and Title I. So those big funds that you're receiving in Title I, especially those Title I schools, or your lunch programs or other ways that you're supporting the lower socioeconomic areas, those funds are really what's in question for noncompliance. And so we want to make sure that you understand what this means, what lack of compliance might look like. And we also don't know the time frame that the administration is going to give, even if we're signing away, that we understand that that is our legal obligation. We don't know what the time frame is for making sure that everything in your district is in compliance. It could be immediate. And so that's why I say I'm seeing this trickle down, because what we really have seen from the administration is withholding funds or taking funds away from those higher ed spaces. You can look at examples like Columbia and Harvard. There are a lot of others on the list at this point now, but the funds have already been taken away. So this administration is not afraid to take away funds. And I think this is, in fact, a K-12s, we see you too, and we expected it, just maybe I thought it was going to be a little bit later. So I expect more in this area. I think we're going to see more in the Title VI space moving forward about expectations, perhaps policy, perhaps procedures, maybe in the same way that we have Title IX policies and procedures. That takes a rulemaking effort by the administration, but I anticipate that they may try to fast track that. Who knows? I don't have a crystal ball and no one else does, but I'm just out here throwing out what's going through my brain so that you understand where I would be thinking if I were you in charge of federal programs, in charge of your district as council, those types of things. And so one big piece I want you to do if you're a federal programs individual or you're involved in federal programs at all is talk to your council, talk to your superintendent, talk to your director of schools. Make sure that you've received this and signed it, because it is considered non-compliance for not signing it. And so we want to make sure you're prepared. I've said we want to make sure a whole lot of times because we really want to make sure that you are absolutely ready in this space. Courtney also dropped in the entire order or expectation in the Tuesday takeaways this week. So go ahead and check that out as well. I just want to make sure there's nothing else that I wanted to make sure that I get to. Okay, I think that's it. Reminder, this is a Title VI expectation about receiving other federal funds. Most importantly for K-12s, it looks to be those Title I funds. So that's all the breaking news for today, but like hopefully we've got that beep, beep, beep ticker going across there to make sure that you know this is important. And also the deadline for signing the document is April 13th. So if your district hasn't received it, we need to make sure that that's happening. Of course, you know, I'm going to pull out my Living Title IX mug or my absolutely amazing ICS mug and highlight our latest mug club. Hashtag mugshot, and you'll get one of these of your own. We were at a conference last weekend or a symposium last week and gave out tons of these. So we are so excited to see new mugshots and new members of our mug club. And we want you to be in as well. So let us know, hashtag mugshot, we'll get you one. And we would love to share your picture with the entire world because you are working so hard in this space. So I am thankful for you all. I want you to remember to laugh at yourself in this hard time, support each other, and celebrate the small victories. I'm going to give you my small victory today is that I am completely prepared with my little notepad to get all this information to you because it's been a real challenge trying to keep up on what's happening. So glad to share it with you. Have an awesome day, awesome week, and we will see you next time. Bye.